All triacs operate in A. Quadrant 1 and Quadrant 2, B. Quadrant 1 and Quadrant 3, C. Quadrant 2 and Quadrant 4, D. Quadrant 3 and Quadrant 4. The correct answer is Quadrant 1 and Quadrant 3. The number of bits in a digital word determines the number of digital combinations that will be represented. The number of combinations can be calculated by A. Raising 2 to the number of bits in the analog word, B. Raising 2 to the number of bits in the digital word, C. Multiplying 2 by the number of bits in the analog word, D. Determining the range of the analog word. The correct answer is raising 2 to the number of bits in the digital word, and can be rapidly switched on and off remotely by another controlling circuit. A. Triac, B. Diac, C. RTD, D. Zero voltage switch. The correct answer is triac. A sample and hold circuit consists of A. An op-amp, an analog switch and an inductor, B. An op-amp, an analog switch and a capacitor, C. 2 op-amps, an analog switch and a variable resistor, D. 2 op-amps, an analog switch and a capacitor. The correct answer is 2 op-amps, an analog switch and a capacitor. RTDs, strain gauges and pressure transducers are devices A. Resistive, B. Inductive, C. Capacitive, D. Solid state. The correct answer is resistive. A thermistor's temperature characteristic is essentially A. Linear, B. Logarithmic, C. Nonlinear, D. Geometric. The correct answer is logarithmic. The three types of relative pressure measurement are A. Exact, reflective and referenced, B. Absolute, exact and differential, C. Absolute gauge and reflective, D. Absolute gauge and differential. The correct answer is absolute gauge and differential. The two most common types of analog to digital converters discussed in this chapter were the A. Linear converter and the analog converter, B. Linear converter and the successive approximation converter, C. Flash converter and the analog converter, D. Flash converter and the successive approximation converter. The correct answer is flash converter and the successive approximation converter. The voltage produced by a thermocouple is called the A. Hot junction voltage, B. Cold junction voltage, C. Seebeck voltage, D. Hooke voltage. The correct answer is Seebeck voltage. There are two types of acceleration transducers, A. LVDT and the piezoelectric, B. Magnetic and the piezoelectric, C. RTD and the magnetic, D. LVDT and the RTD. The correct answer is LVDT and the piezoelectric. A triac is different from an SCR because A. It can handle large current flows, B. It can handle large voltages, C. The gate signal can turn off the current flow, D. It allows current flow in both directions. The correct answer is it allows current flow in both directions. D is composed of a transformer with a movable core, a primary and two secondaries. A. LVDT, B. Strain gauge, C. Accelerometer, D. Transformer displacement sensor. The correct answer is LVDT.